Am I projecting loud enough? All right, good. So first I want to thank Ms. Nye Phillips for the invitation. I got the invitation to speak today while I was in physical therapy, so I was kind of confused and kind of excited at the same time, so I'm very humbled to be here. I also want to recognize the Kappa Iota chapter of the Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated for winning the chapter of the year this year at the University of Arkansas, so we can give them a big round of applause. And we can also give them a round of applause for their preparation of tonight and feeding us all and giving us some good soul food and dessert. So give them a round of applause for that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and begin and just flow with me, okay? All right. Take the meanest and most breastless nigger. Strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggas, female niggas, and nigger infants. Tar and feather him, tie each leg to a horse facing in opposite directions. Set him on fire and beat both horses to tear him apart in front of all the remaining male, female, and infant niggas. Bull whip and beat the remaining nigger males to the point of death in front of the female and infant. Don't kill him, but put the fear of God in him, because he can be great for future breeding. Keep the body, take the mind. Keep the body, take the mind. Keep the body, take the mind. This philosophy of Willie Lynch birthed a system of control and oppression designed to last for at least 300 years. Well, 304 years later, his method still reigns supreme. Willie Lynch. Has anybody heard of Willie Lynch? Well, what were his methods, you may ask? Well, they centered on identifying differences amongst blacks, magnifying such differences, and exploiting them to develop intraracial hatred, competition, distrust, and envy. He said in his letter, you must put the old black male versus the young black male versus the old black male. He said you must put the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves, the female versus the male versus the female. Train them to only love, respect, and trust whites. So generation after generation, we have been bred to distrust and have a lack of respect for ourselves and our black brothers and sisters. We have been bred to compete and rival with each other rather than working together as a unit. We have been psychologically broken to believe that we are different merely because of our skin complexion. So 300 plus years of breeding continues to perpetuate intraracial cynicism, hatred, jealousy, and disrespect. How else can we explain this steep rise in black-on-black killing and this craze of advertising fights and brutal beatings amongst ourselves on world star hip-hop? How else do we explain our lack of support for black-owned businesses and devaluing historically black colleges and universities? How else do we explain our voting apathy and political ignorance? How else do we explain our reluctance to celebrate the achievements of our own, but continue and persist on fueling the team light-skin, team dark-skin debate? Keep the body, take the mind. Keep the body, take the mind. Keep the body, take the mind. Lynch's theory in 1712 was to create division amongst blacks because he knew that we have power with numbers. We have power with unity. And somehow, 304 years later, somehow today, we are still only talking about unity. We talk about it within the African American community as if it's something abstract. We talk about it in the African American community as if it's going to require a mass movement. Many even feel that it's impossible, yet we forget the rewards achieved when communities found common unity. You remember the Underground Railroad, don't you? It was the unity that established the network of secret routes and safe houses in the mid-19th century that delivered thousands of slaves to freedom. It was the unity that established the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma in the early 1900s, home to 10,000 blacks, a community well equipped with black doctors, lawyers, engineers, black banks, businesses, and schools, proof that we had and have the capacity to be renowned professionals, business owners, inventors, educators, scientists, artists, and more. Let us not forget the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Some of you guys know that as SNCC, right? This group of college students, just like me and you, they came together and unified to tackle issues regarding segregation at lunch counters and segregation within the busing and rail system. They came together to tackle issues on voter registration and voting rights. Well, I know a lot of you in this room remember this one, because it took unity of 9 powerful black women: Anna Brown, Beulah Burke, Lily Burke, Marjorie Hill, Margaret Holmes, Ethel Hedgeman, Lavinia Norman, Lucy Sloan, and Marie Woolfolk, that used their position of privilege to cultivate and encourage high scholastic and ethical standards to promote unity and friendship among college women, to study and help alleviate problems concerning girls and women in order to improve their social stature, to maintain a progressive interest in college life, and to be of service to all mankind. So this topic, this idea of unity, it's not foreign. It has been the solution to every obstacle we as a people have faced. Yet, our complacency, our apathy to learning and cherishing our history, our reluctance to holding ourselves and others accountable, and this redefined Willie Lynch ideology has made black unity taboo. In my experience growing up in the black church, going to HBCU, North Carolina A&T State University to be specific, and getting acclimated here within our black demographic, I hear a lot about unity all the time. I hear it in Sunday morning sermons. I hear it in keynote speeches. I hear it in mission statements. But my friends, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of talking about it. I think it's time when we need to act on it, time to move on it, time to strengthen our unity here within the student body at the University of Arkansas. So the first thing we must do to strengthen our unity is to strengthen our collective wealth. We must invest in our community by giving of ourselves and our resources. This must be apparent in our support of black-owned businesses. A couple quick facts. Did you know that the number of black-owned businesses continue to rise in our country, increasing to more than 2 million, according to the U.S. Census Bureau survey of business owners? Not only that, but in a 2015 State of Women-Owned Business reports, the number of black women-owned businesses has grown 322% since 1997, making up 49% of all black-owned businesses across the country. Likewise, did you know that African Americans in a market research study have reached a black buying power of $1.1 trillion in 2015? $1.1 trillion by 2015, last year. So what does this mean? This means that we have the economic influence to change the landscape of our community. The economic influence to decrease unemployment within the black community. The economic influence to increase financial support for you all, for college students, for me, so we can go to college and not have to take out loans. The buying power that grants us political influence even here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. However, that power that we have is lost because of our unwillingness to support black-owned businesses unless we receive a discount. Unless we have to go out of our way to purchase a product or a service because it's inconvenient. Our power is lost because we continue to believe in the stereotype that African American products are of low quality, because we neglect to recommend or promote black-owned businesses when we have the opportunity to do so. This perpetuation of Willie Lynch's, I made it up, Willie Lynchism is stripping us of our economic power and ability to establish and maintain common unity. However, harnessing our economic fortune will grant us power and influence in every aspect of life. We can do this on a micro level. We don't have to think big picture. We can do this here at the University of Arkansas. Well, how can we do that? Well, each year, some organization is throwing some type of fundraising event, some type of scholarship event. We have churches all around. We have to give back. We have to put our money into those things, because those things are not going to help out our high school students, our undergraduate students who need the money to go to school, who need the money to focus on their studies and not have to work at the mall so we can get out of here and graduate. We have to utilize our creative minds of African Americans that are all around us and pay them for their services. I know all of you all have a DJ that's in your social group. You all have somebody who takes pictures. You all have somebody who likes doing websites. Pay them to do the services that we need. We also have to support the ideas and aid in the development of our young entrepreneurs and future business owners. Doing these things supports our student organizations, promotes awareness of African American growth, and fosters community. The next thing we must do to strengthen our unity is develop our voice. Develop our voice. When I think about the development of our voice, I think about November 7th, 2015, the blackout event that we had in front of the Union in the library. I think about all of you who were actually out there in support of the blackout and supporting the students at the University of Missouri. I thought about how that illustrated leadership, communication, execution, and unity. I thought about the presence and the voice that we had that was heard all across the University of Arkansas, all across Northwest Arkansas. It was symbolic for me because it showed me that we have the collective capacity to create, affect, and demand change. It showed me that we have the collective capacity to address any issue. And it showed me that a small group of leaders can come together, even in a small amount of time, and make things happen. It is with that same vigor, that same passion, that same cohesiveness that we need to move forward and unite our one voice. All these things seem complex. All these things seem to take a lot to do. But if we look at history, if we look at our history tells us that our voices are heard, yes, when we show up in numbers, but our voices are heard when we educate ourselves and we use our power to vote. Therefore, one, we must all be registered to vote. So if you're not registered to vote, there's pieces of paper on your table. Be registered to vote. We have an important election coming up in November. Be registered to vote. Go and vote. And number two, we must educate ourselves on issues that affect us, issues on the national, state, local, and university level. Issues surrounding healthcare, jobs, tuition, and student loans. Issues surrounding significant changes to the Voting Rights Act that affect you and me. Issues surrounding the budget cuts for historically black colleges and universities. Issues surrounding discrimination here at the University of Arkansas, discrimination at the workplace, mass incarceration, and the return of those individuals to our society. Issues surrounding the Flint water crisis, police brutality, gun violence. in urban cities. Our voice comes when we are knowledgeable about all matters, whether political, social, or economic, in order to strategically and effectively address such issues and move to enforce necessary change. History also tells us that our voices are heard when we are in the room, when we are at the table. The civil rights movement doesn't go anywhere unless we have a man who's able to pick up a phone and call the most powerful man in the world. Martin Luther King was able to pick up the phone and call the Oval Office to set up a meeting to make change, because thousands of protests, thousands of marches, thousands of sit-ins don't happen unless we have that connection. It's not enough to just be a leader of a student organization. It isn't enough to just be a leader in your fraternity, in your sorority. It's not enough to just play your part at the multicultural center. We have to now come together and initiate some type of pursuit to go and serve on the Associated Student Government Board, serve in the cabinet, serve in the Judiciary Affairs Committee, the Financial Affairs Committee. We have to be able to reach outside of ourselves, outside of our comfort zone, to go and serve on these various advisory boards. These positions give us power to make and enforce policy, gives us power to voice our needs and see that those needs are met, gives us power to get the funding we need to put on events like this. We have Willie Lynch saying, keep the body, take the mind. No longer can we settle on just being a number. No longer can we settle on just being a statistic to show off to everybody else of the university's rise of diversity. No longer can we settle on just being the black body in the classroom, just being known for the synchronized choreographed dances that we do outside of the union, just making touchdowns and finishing alley-oops. We, my friends, are intelligent, we are leaders, we are powerful beyond measure, and strengthening our unity to the point of having one voice allows us to speak from a position of power to make strategic demands to get what we need to be successful. Lastly, I'm almost done. Amen. The last thing we need to do to strengthen our unity is to create a standard and build a legacy. I think back when I was in 8th grade, right? Long time ago, 2005 to be exact. That was funny, right? I think about how I came home with a progress report that had 3 C's on it, 2 B's, and an A in gym. We all had that report card before, right? That progress report.
Should have.
Just me?
Should have.
All right. Well, I had one of those. Dr. Daniels, my father, sat me down and said, Joe, if you want to live in this household, you will make all A's. You will make all A's. Why? Because you have set a standard for yourself that says that you are capable of doing as such. So I expect you to have all A's. I understand the slip up in the B, but you will have all A's. So we must collectively reestablish a standard of high expectation, a standard of excellence, a standard of wills. So my brothers and sisters, we will be great students. We will be great leaders. We will be great mentors. There is no option. We will be servants to our community. We will hold ourselves and each other accountable and to a higher standard, demanding respect for ourselves and one another. We will support Black-owned businesses. We will vote, and be vocal on issues that matter. We will be united. This standard of wills produces renowned individuals dedicated to excellence, and by creating such a standard, we build a legacy of greatness and a subconscious demand to be great. Sounds like I'm asking for a lot. But what would that even look like? Because sometimes as an engineer, you need things to be visible, you need things to be visual. I gotta see it. Well, what that looks like is we run the yard in every aspect of the phrase. You know what that means, right? We will have the highest GPA on campus, period. We will lead the university in service hours, serving our community and each other. We will hold positions all across campus at various levels. We will have a 100% graduation rate, job placement, and graduate school placement. Standards. We have to have it. We will have it. When we have that set of standard, what happens when freshmen come in? They see the standard, they reach the standard, they excel past the standard, producing a legacy. How do I know that? Well, I see 9 phenomenal women who decided on January 15, 1908, at Howard University in Washington, D.C., who decided to unite and set a standard of scholarship, a standard of unity, sisterhood, a standard of service, a standard that bred a legacy of domestic and international excellence, a standard that bred a legacy of social and scholastic advancement, a standard in the midst of racial segregation and gender inequality, a standard that bred a legacy of service to all mankind. So we have a call to action tonight to strengthen our unity here within the student body of the University of Arkansas through support of Black business, through the establishment and the development of our voice, and through the reestablishment of a standard of excellence. Strengthening our unity, it eradicates interracial distrust and envy. It eradicates interracial divisiveness caused by skin complexion. It eradicates the mindset that mediocrity is okay. It's not okay. Let's take back our bodies. Let's take back our minds. Let's do it together. Thank you.